I'm trying. That's what I'm trying. Okay.
Restart it. That's what IT always says. Did you restart it? Plug it in.
Sorry.
It works.
I can't log in. I guess I
Remember the joke I told you earlier?
He's on.
All right, are we all in? Okay.
Okay, am I in now?
Thank you.
Sorry.
Technical difficulties happen all the time to everyone. So, all right. So the Board of Trustees will reconvene into open session, and we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Ken Mueller, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand. Place your hand over your heart. Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ken. All right, so item 8.1, public testimony. During meetings of the Board of Trustees, members of the public have an opportunity to comment on items that appear on the agenda or items that do not appear on the agenda but are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total public input on each item to 20 minutes. Speakers may not. Edgar Garcia, please.
Good evening, my name is Edgar Garcia. I'm a parent in the district. I also work for the district. I also serve as the city council member for the city of Cali Mesa. I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself and share that I plan to attend meetings regularly as an engaged parent to the community meetings and as a member as well too. Strong institutions are built on transparency, communication, and accountability. Like many parents, I believe our school should always place where students feel safe, respected, and supportive. When concerns related to student safety arise, family deserves transparency, accountability, and timely responses. I look forward to staying engaged in supporting our culture. where a safety and the well-being of every student remains the highest priority at the Beaumont Unified School District. Thank you.
Thank you, Edgar. All right. Item 9.1, approve the recommended action for student discipline. Student discipline case number 202526-12.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 10.1, report out of closed session. There are no items to report out of closed session today. Item 10.2, receive a report from our student board member, Caden Alderson.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to share our secondary school sites, great events, activities, and accomplishments. Starting off with Mountain View Middle School. The Mountain View Middle School students, Cougar Steppers, made their debut at the Black History celebration on February 25th. Mountain View Middle School's 8th grade students attended the STEM conference at the University of Redlands. Mountain View Middle School 8th grade students kicked off science camp on Catalina Island. Mountain View Middle School avid students visited Azusa Pacific University. Congratulations to the Cougars District Spelling Bee participant. A special congratulations to Jaime for earning second place at the district level and serving as the alternate at the Riverside County Office of Education Spelling Bee. Mountain View Middle School music students enjoyed a trip to Riverside Community College to see Shrek. Moving on to San Gorgonio Middle School. San Gorgonio Middle School is proud to attend the California League of Middle School Conference on March 5th to be recognized as a redesignated school to watch. The school was originally designated in 2016 and received a redesignation in 2019, 2022, and now 2026. The school hosted the first annual San Gorgonio Middle School Talent Show in February. This was a fun event that attracted many students and families. Ezio Camarino took first place at the Beaumont USD Spelling Bee and will move on to represent San Gorgonio Middle School at the Riverside County Spelling Bee. Keep it up, Ezio. 7th grade students visited Ocean Institute in Dana Point to learn about biodiversity, food webs, water conditions, and track dolphins in the ocean. Next, moving on to Summerwind Trails School. Congratulations to the amazing Summerwind Trails School team on their CAST recognition. Shout out to the middle school team for earning the highest growth in ELA, math, and science. The STS Amazing Shake finalists took part in all-day trip district top 20 competition. Congratulations to Ethan Moitoso for earning second place. He will attend the Ron Clark Global Amazing Shake in Atlanta, Georgia. Congratulations to the students at Summerwind Trails Middle School on their first quarter honor roll award ceremony. Keep aiming high, Trailblazers. Next on to Beaumont High School. The academic decathlon team won the Riverside County competition and will attend the state competition in Santa Clara this month. Students and teachers enjoyed delicious food from the culinary program as part of the monthly student recognition lunch last week. The advanced placement environmental science students had a great time. Learning about nuclear energy at San Onofre Generation Station. Winter sports concluded over the break with girls water polo making it to the semifinals at CIF and Matthew Cassis making it to the Steve Wrestling meet. Next on to Glenview High School. Glenview students with positive attendance for the month of January were rewarded with an art barn painting activity. The boys basketball team is currently in the playoffs. They won their first playoff game. Students and staff thank Miss Susan Aguilar Martinez for bringing 12 community partners to the campus to conduct mock interviews as a way to build career-ready skills. Next on the 21st Century Learning Institute. 21st Century Learning Institute students had a great time participating in the district spelling bee. Congratulations to Maximus Goodwin for earning the third place trophy. High school students are learning and competing with each other with our virtual chess club. Special thanks to Dr. Melissa Brown, the club advisor, for making this club possible. 21st Century Learning Institute would like to thank the Best Foundation for grant funding to support STEM activities during social clubs. Next, on to Beaumont Middle College High School. Beaumont Middle College High School avid sophomores participated in a field trip to University of Redlands to learn more about higher education opportunities. Seniors participated in the CSU Admission Day at Cal State University San Marcos. High school is excited about that the application window is now open for students interested in enrollment in fall. Then, and that will be all. That will be concluding our secondary student board member report. Thank you very much, everyone.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caden. All right, moving on to the district calendar. We will receive a report from Superintendent Mays Kakish and review the district calendar for the month of March.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kaden, for all of these exciting events, but I'm sorry that I'm having to repeat some of them because they're just district accomplishments at the same time, so just reiterating. So we'll start with highlighting the fact that our district annual film festival will be on Thursday, March 26th. Now, the voting for the Viewer's Choice Award closes on March 9th, so please vote so they can actually announce that on March 26th. And if you're looking for the link for the voting, after every board meeting, our PIO will send a newsletter about the board highlights, and in that board, newsletter, there will be a link to vote on the film festival, and you can see all of the other film. And then on to the Black History Month. Shauna, it was amazing. And I came back saying that the next Taylor Swift and the next, best rock star will be from Beaumont Unified. They did an awesome job, highlighting the history, but also the talent, dancing, the singing. It was just really the best so far. So thank you for the committee for working on this and highlighting that. And thank you for Beaumont High School for hosting it at their theater. And then we've received information about our recognition of the Air Force Junior ROTC, and they've received the highest score possible as it relates to them adhering to the law, policies, and other standards by U.S. Air Force. So that was such an accomplishment. And they will have their military ball this Saturday, and so I'm looking forward to participating in that with them. They always throw a really nice event. And I do want to acknowledge our best of AXA winners this year are coming from Beaumont Unified School District. So we have Dr. Evan Brown, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction and Support Services, Jennifer Castillo, Assistant Superintendent of HR, and Gabby Toledo, Director of Special Education, are being recognized as Administrator of the Year for their respective area at our Association of Administrators. Yes. So proud of our staff. And I also saw a former board member that remembers how he was always encouraging every one of us to actually participate and be active in the association and to highlight the staff. And for him to see 3 being winners this year from Beaumont Unified just filled his bucket. And it fills my bucket. So congratulations to all of you. I know that you're all in the audience. And then I also want to let the board know and the audience at the same time, Beaumont Unified School District sent 12 students to the regional Amazing Shake competition. Placement in 7th through 8th grade division, Tony Olowabusi and Aubrey Soniga and Sophia Tandak. That tells you of our diversity in our district, right? Placed first, and placement in 5th through 6th grade division, Madison Sweeney from San Gregorio Middle School. So all of them, we are so proud of them. And this is like a unique first-time event at the regional level and hosted by San Bernardino County Office of Education. So I anticipate that this event will just grow further at more counties and hopefully at the state level. So cool. As for the calendar, we have to highlight DLI Showcase will be the 20-year celebration on March 12th. And then Best First Fundraiser Event. I call it a gala. She doesn't want me to say a gala and stress everybody about the attire of the event, but I consider it, a great event to attend to support our students. All of the funds go for scholarships for our students and grants for our teachers to implement in their schools/classrooms. So the event will be on the 19th, and if you need any more information, reach out to me or April to give you information. District Literacy Fair is on March 21st, and that will be here at the ESF. March 30th through to April 3rd, we will have our schools closed for spring break. And that is it for my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Kakish. That moves us on to item 11.1, approve the consent agenda. Items prepared for the consent agenda are items consistent with adopted and approved policies of the district and are deemed routine in nature. They will be acted upon in one single motion without discussion unless any member of the Board of Trustees requests an item be removed from the consent agenda. In that event, it will be taken up in the order indicated on the main agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Would anyone like to remove an item? Discussion? Hearing none. Call for the vote. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lance and David.
Lance and David. Mind if I turn this on?
Oh, sure.
And the motion carries. Item 13.1, receive a presentation and certify the 25-26 second interim report. Welcome.
All righty. Good evening, Superintendent Kakish, President Brown, members of the board, cabinet, colleagues, and community. My name is Nathan Camara, and I serve as the Director of Fiscal Services here for Beaumont Unified.
If you want to raise that, you can. You look a little uncomfortable. So make sure you're comfortable.
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
And I'm here today to present the 25-26 second interim budget report. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right in. So our first slide here is just our budget cycle. So in December, we brought forth our first interim, which was our first checkpoint of the 25-26 school year. And today we are bringing forth our second interim. So as we move through our presentation, a lot of our data will compare to what we brought to the board last time. And any time that we're starting with the budget, we always start with a series of assumptions and a series of criteria and standards that drive our revenues and our expenditures. This slide here just has our assumptions compared from first interim to second interim. There hasn't been much change in our assumptions. The only thing that you'll note here is that our district enrollment number, that is our certified CBEDs. So we certify CBEDs in December. So in first interim, that was our October, so there was a decrease of 2 students there. But our enrollment to ADA ratio, that remains the same as what was projected at first interim. We'll continue to monitor that throughout the year. And then at first interim, we had an increase to our unduplicated pupils, which is our foster youth, our socioeconomically disadvantaged, and our English learners. So you can see that our unduplicated pupil percentage for a single year, it's about 71%, and that drives our LCAP revenues. And then at the bottom of the slide, you can see that our state teachers' retirement, our STRS, and then our public employee, that's our classified retirement, no change in those assumptions there. And then as we move to our next slide here, this is the combined general fund summary. In the left column, you can see that there is first interim, and on the right, there's our second interim. To just jump to the ending fund balance, you can see that at first interim, we were projecting an ending fund balance of $36 million. And at second interim, our projected ending fund balance is $36.9 million. For a local education agency, our funds and our fund balance are comprised of different funds, right? So we have our restricted dollars, which are restricted for a certain program or a certain grant. We also have our reserves for economic uncertainties. Our commitments, those are locally what we've decided as a board what to commit. And then our assignments, that's primarily our health and welfare pools and our vacation liability. And then we'll jump into each section in our presentation. Our next slide here is revenues. So again, comparing first interim to second interim, you can see that our total revenues at first interim were $229.6 million, and at second interim, our projection is $231.1 million at second interim. And then our next slide is going to break down what has changed between our two reporting periods. Just at our local control funding formula, you can see that we had a change to our enrollment using certified seabeds. That's impacting our LCAP dollars. Federally, we're seeing additional dollars for both of our Medi-Cal programs. We have a restricted Medi-Cal program, that is the Medi-Cal LEA BOP, and then we have an unrestricted Medi-Cal program, that is the administrative activities. But for both of our Medi-Cal programs, we are anticipating additional revenues than what was projected at first interim. Lastly, in the federal category, we have our Title IV revenues, which is Title IV, that's student support and enrichment. There's about $100,000 additional allocation there to our Title IV dollars. Moving to our state dollars, the largest change there was to our early intervention, our preschool grant, and that's restricted for special education. Locally, we're seeing an increase for redevelopment revenues and our low incidence. Again, that's another special education grant, and that's for deaf and hard of hearing students, low incidence disabilities. Moving to the next side of our budget is our expenditures here. You can see that our expenditures at first interim were $251.7 million. And at second interim, we have $252.2 million. And then our next slide will get into our changes as well. So for expenditures between the first and second interim, what we're seeing is an increase for substitutes and extra duty, and an increase for fixed costs in paying those additional salaries. Between first and second interim, we've also posted the projected impact to our health and welfare pools, which will be reflected in our assignments. And then moving to books and supplies, overall we're seeing a decrease to books and supplies for a reallocation really to services and other operating expenditures. In that category, we have an increase for insurance, repairs, software, legal fees, and professional services driving our services category. Lastly, on this slide, we have our ELO construction. At first interim, we added a budget to ELO to add access to our elementary schools throughout the district. With ELO, that is a restricted state program, and what changed in this year is how the state is funding that. So what the district is seeing is an increase to ELO dollars, but what comes with the increase to that revenue is the need to provide access to students to the ELO program. And then at second interim, we are just adjusting the construction costs because this is the budget through June 30th, 2026. So the project will carry past July 1st, 2026. Our next slide here, this is contributions from the unrestricted general fund to the restricted general fund. Between first and second interim, we can see that the special education contribution has increased from about 33.3 to 34.9. That's being driven by an increase in extra duty, sub costs, and contracts for special education. And then just below that, our routine restricted maintenance has a small increase. Our routine restricted maintenance, that is 3% of our total budget, and as our total budget has increased, the contribution to routine has increased a small amount there. The next section of the slideshow will get into the components of the ending fund balance, and we are starting with our restricted programs here first. You can see on this slide, there's an increase to the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, what we are projecting to end the year with, again, because we decreased our construction cost for our current year, so we're dropping that to the ending fund balance, and we will carry that to next year to continue the construction project. And then also you can see that our early intervention, special education, what we are expecting to carry over has increased between our two reporting periods. And then this slide here is continuing our restricted balances. You can see at first interim, our restricted balances were $14.7 million, and that has grown to $18.3 million. That's kind of being led by the ELO dollars, in addition to, you can see redevelopment there and the Medi-Cal program. Now this slide here is covering the reserve for economic uncertainties and commitments. You can see that on our left column, first interim, our top section is the reserve for economic uncertainties. And you can see that there has been a little bit of a decrease in our reserve. Again, that's due to pressures on the unrestricted general fund that is decreasing that reserve between our two reporting periods. Moving to committed funds, our textbooks curriculums remains the same at $1.3 million, but you can see there's a small change to LCAP again, going back to that certified CBEDS. Lastly, our last component of the ending fund balance is our assignments here. And you can see at first interim, we had total assignments of $4.4 million, and at second interim, we have assignments of about $2.8 million. And then this next slide here is a summary of all funds. Up to this point, we've been discussing the general fund. The general fund serves as the primary operating fund of the school district. And you can see that the general fund has a projected ending fund balance of $36.9 million as of June 30th, 2026. Beaumont Unified operates a total budget across all funds of $296.3 million. And you can see across all funds, we are projecting to end the year with $114.5 million. The last section of my slideshow will cover the multi-year projection. And again, anytime that we're talking about a budget, we always start with a series of assumptions. So these are our criteria and standards that are being used for the multi-year. You can see, just starting from the top, we have our cost of living allowance. And right here, School Services of California, SSC. I just want to point to the 27-28 budget year. You can see that the 3.06% COLA is projected by SSC, but locally here at Beaumont Unified, we do not include COLA in the 27-28 fiscal year. One other thing that has changed from first interim to second interim is actually the COLA in the 26-27 fiscal year. At first interim, our COLA was 3.02 for next year, and the governor's proposed budget decreases COLA to 2.41. So a loss of about 0.6% COLA, but you can see that we are still projecting continued growth at the district of about 2% annually, while we are maintaining the enrollment to ADA ratio, and then you can see that there's a small decrease to the PERS rate in 26-27. This slide here is a combined multi-year projection, and you can see at second interim there's our $36.9 million that we are projecting to end the year with. There is a deficit that exists in the budget, and you can see how that 36.9 becomes 29.3, and then that becomes 26.8. This slide here again is combined. This slide here is the unrestricted portion only, and you can see of the 39.6 that we are projecting at second interim, 18.6 of that lives in the unrestricted fund, and you can see how the deficit in unrestricted continues between, it continues through 27-28, but the district still meets its 3% required reserve in 27-28. Lastly, this is our restricted multi-year projection, and you can see that we are projecting to end the year with 18.3 million restricted, and then that 18.3 decreases to 14.5. And what that is that's the continued ELO construction, in addition to transferring costs from the unrestricted side of the house against restricted dollars to free up our general fund. So you can see that we have a deficit in 26-27 that is intentional, and then in 27-28, the surplus returns, again, led by ELO. And that concludes our second interim presentation, and I'm open for questions.
I'm actually good. Can you go back about 5 or 6 slides?
Absolutely.
Keep going. Right there.
Yes.
Well, what caused the $14 million difference between the first and the second interim?
Yes, so at first interim, we were projecting to end with our restricted dollars, we were projecting to end the year with $14.7 million. Now at second interim, we are projecting to end the year with 18.3, so our restricted funds are growing. What's leading the growth in the restricted funds is that our expanded learning opportunity dollars, those were budgeted for construction costs, but those construction costs won't be completed before the end of this fiscal year. So what we've done is we've reduced the budget for the construction costs, increased what we will carry over to next year, so that way next year we can take from what was carried over to continue to pay that project. So for restricted, ELO really leads that charge. We had, at first interim, we added $4 million of construction costs to add portable buildings throughout the district. But at second interim, we've decreased the budget from $4 million to $1 million. So that's why we're seeing additional funds carried over.
Okay. And did I hear you say we had an increase in the federal funding, but a decrease in the state funding?
So we have an increase. Let me go back. So what we're seeing is we're seeing an increase across all revenue categories. Primarily, I have the number here. In federal, so overall, our total revenue growth is $1.4 million. Of that $1.4 million, I want to say it's $700,000. Here, I have it here. Yeah, so $1.4 million is the increase in revenue. Let me back it up here too. So there's our revenue slide.
Right.
So we have a $1.4 million increase in all of our revenues, but all categories are growing. Our largest category of growth there is our federal dollars, and that's about a $725,000 increase federally. We do have an increase in our state dollars too. Our state dollars are just led primarily by that preschool grant. Yeah, so.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Item 13.2, elect delegates to the 2026 California School Board Association Delegate. I'm sorry, did I miss something?
Does it need to be approved?
Oh, we need,
Budget.
that's an action item? Yes, it is. It's
I'll move
information and
approval.
action.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. Thank you, Susie.
Did you
You're
get that?
welcome.
I think I'm out of sync somehow. There it goes, finally. And the motion carries. Item 13.2, Part 2. Elect delegates to the 2026 California School Board Association Delegate Assembly Subregion 18A. There are a total of 9 candidates for the CSBA Delegate Assembly Subregion, 6 vacancies, and the Board of Trustees may vote for up to 6 candidates represented.
Well, I'd like to make the recommendation for the incumbents, Ben Johnson, Linda Parra, Melissa Williamson, Cynthia Navarro, and Heidi Dodd. But that still leaves one more.
Yes, I'd like to recommend Joseph Komrosky from Temecula Valley, USD, as the 6th.
I'm good with that.
Did you just say you second that?
I said I'm good with that.
Oh, okay.
So
So I'd
are you
like-
making a motion to, are you making a motion to put all these people on here?
Mhm.
I'll second your motion, along with Melissa's addition.
Is it along with Melissa's addition?
All right. So, one more time, we got Ben Johnson,
Linda Porras,
Linda Porras,
Melissa Williamson.
Melissa Williamson,
Cynthia Navarro,
Cynthia Navarro,
Heidi Dodd, Joseph Komrosky.
Heidi Dodd, and Joseph Komrosky.
Basically, all the incumbents plus Joseph.
Okay. So I got a motion and a second.
Motion second.
Discussion?
I have just one comment on this. So there was actually a mistake. CSBA actually left me off of the ballot. And I just wanted to publicly thank April for her immaculate record keeping, and because we were able to prove that we did our part and they fixed it. So thank you, April. I appreciate that, and thank you, CSBA, for fixing it. So.
All right. No other discussion?
February 16th will go down in infamy.
I wish I wasn't the one under discussion, but I'm glad I'm on the ballot.
All right, let's call for the vote. And the motion carries. All right, item 14.1, approve the attendance incentives for Beaumont High School.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Okay, moved by Susie, seconded by Melissa. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 15.1, approve the certificated personnel order listed on the report dated March 3rd, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second, David.
Moved by Melissa, seconded by David. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 15.2, approve the classified personnel assignment order listed on the report dated March 3rd, 2026.
I'll move approval. Sorry, Lance.
Lance
So moved.
and
Susie second.
Susie seconded, okay. And discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 15.3, approve the administrative and confidential personnel assignment order listed on the report dated March 3rd, 2026. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move approval.
Second, David.
All right, Susie and David. Discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. Item 15.4, adopt resolution 2025-26-25, elimination and discontinuation of one administrative classified position for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved.
Moved by Lance,
Second, David.
seconded by David. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. Item 16.1, receive an update on the district's capital facilities program. Here comes Anna. See, this one's just information.
Good evening, President Brown, board members, Superintendent Kakish. I'm Anna Gonzalez, here to give you a quick update on our capital outlay projects. On the agenda, we have Palm Innovation Academy new kitchen, San Gorgonio Middle School portables, and the Mountain View Middle School portables. And as mentioned in the past, our kitchen includes kitchen equipment, lunch shelter, landscaping, ADA path of travel, parking lot upgrades. And we have been in construction since May of last year and are expected still to be completed April of this year. Our architect of record is RCA. Construction manager Desmond Meyer, and the budget for this project is still $7.3 million. On this slide, you can see the epoxy on the kitchen. It's already been completed. Our walk-in cooler installation is currently in progress, and currently we are also in progress for the site work and planters. So this project is moving fairly quickly. Next here is the San Gorgonio portables. This one's been in construction since September of last year and still on schedule. We're actually done already. So it was completed last week. On this slide, you can see some of the ADA stalls being done and the concrete being poured. This was about a week and a half ago, but as of this week, the site has been punched by the principal actually today and is going to be occupied next week. So we are on schedule.
That's awesome.
The next project is Mountain View. Again, we've been in construction since September. We were scheduled to be completed February. We did have a little delay with this project because of the rain during the President's Week. We are scheduled to be completed this Friday, punching next week, and soon after we'll be occupying. So you can see here, carpet's been completed. The ramps for the restrooms have been completed. And right now, the only thing that we're missing is the railings for the portables, which we're, again, completing this week, and some railing up at the front of the school for ADA path of travel. And at that point, we will be punching. And that is my update, unless anyone has questions.
Thank you. That's all good news. That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Item 16.2, approve the purchase of 3 buses for student transportation within Beaumont Unified School District. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move approval.
I'll second. Lance.
David. Lance. All right, discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. And the motion carries. All right, item 17.1, receive a report from the California School Employees Association and its Beaumont Chapter 351. Is there any representative here?
You know, Frank stopped by today and apologized for not being here today.
Thank you, Mace. Receive a report from the Beaumont Teachers Association. Is there any representative here today?
Good evening, President Brown, members of the board, Superintendent Kakish, and cabinet members. My name is Tim Chow. For those who haven't met me, I'm the first vice president of BTA, and I'm here in lieu of Mr. Martinez tonight. He couldn't be here, and he sends his apologies. To update you, BTA attended the LCAP Advisory Committee meeting on February 11th, And our participation included the reflection and evaluation of the goals and actions of the LCAP. We also attended the superintendent's town hall last week, and our negotiations team met with the district on February 12th. Our next meeting is scheduled for March 20th, and at that time, we will be discussing the BTA's proposal for compensation and benefits. BTA recently attended the CEBA board member meeting on the 27th, and at that time, the CEBA board voted to increase Blue Shield rates by 13% and the Kaiser rate by approximately 9%. BTA is currently evaluating the impact of this increase to our members. Finally, BTA would like to give a shout out to students and staff who participated in the Career Technical Education Showcase recently hosted at Beaumont High School. Our thanks to Dr. Breyer for his presentation, and that this program offers a career readiness to students who are seeking these diverse pathways. And a thank you also finally to the local businesses who have partnered with the district to provide work-based opportunities. Thank you.
Do you mind repeating that? You said 13% in CEBA for blue?
Yes,
And
CEBA voted for a 13% increase in Blue Shield rates and a 9% rate for Kaiser.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Kaiser's fully funded, that's going up.
Thank you, Mr. Chow. All right, so item 17.3, receive a report from Beaumont Administration Confidential Management Employees Group. I understand Dr. Breyer is not here tonight. Item 17.4, receive a report from Board Member David Sanchez.
No comment tonight?
All right. Item 17.5, receive a report from Board Member Dr. Lanston Sylvester.
Good evening, President Brown, Superintendent Kakish, Cabinet members, board members. Good evening to everyone. Just very quickly, want to thank our, is it Shauna?
Shauna Keels.
Ms. Keels.
Thank you once again. Some of the events I have not been to because I'm still in a recovery phase. I have 2 more surgeries, but I promise that once I'm full that I will be at these events. Secondly, the aspect of, I'm not sure of the protocol that of how we respond. I was trying to ascertain what was being said in the public comments by, is it Mr. Edgar? And I was trying to understand if it was coming across that the students are not safe, or you feel the students are not safe. I was trying to understand. So
Staff will follow up with him on more detail.
Okay. So I was just trying to get the gist of what was being said and the spirit in which it was being said. Other than that, thank you once again, and look forward to moving Beaumont forward.
Thank you, Dr. Sylvester. Receive a report from Board Member Melissa Williamson.
No report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williamson. Item 17.7, receive a report from Board Member Susie Lara.
Okay, actually, I have quite a few things I want to talk about tonight. Am I on? Yeah. Okay. First, I want to say shout out to Coach Brianna Morris, the girls wrestling coach. I received 2 emails from parents. I don't know if anybody else did. And so I just wanted to say shout out to her, because that's awesome when you get those kind of emails when somebody's happy with someone. It's like, oh, that's nice. So also, the spelling bee went really well. That was great. Dr. Barnett, great spelling master over there. So that was a great event. It was 2 kids, well, they went through 12 rounds before they finally selected a winner.
Wow.
Yeah, and just the 2 of them went through 12 rounds. So, yes. Also, the Amazing Shake results for the San Bernardino Regional, that is incredible. Clean sweep by Beaumont. I'm like so excited about that. You all know how I feel about the Amazing Shake, so I don't need to say any more on that. Way to go to the Air Force Junior ROTC team. And way to go to Eben, Jennifer, and Gabby for the AXA.
Awesome.
Yes, and happy birthday to Lance on the 15th. Happy birthday to Maze on the 21st. So, and with that, I have one more thing. You can put on your life vest because I'm going to rock the boat a little bit. So, I want to address the political walkouts that occurred by the high school and middle school students. I am definitely not okay with students walking out without checking out. I understand students have a right to demonstrate and exercise their free speech. However, there are no guardrails in place to make sure that parents are informed when their students leave campus for this purpose. So I would like to bring it back for the board to discuss, to put in guardrails so that we know where students are. If something were to happen to one of these students, we wouldn't know it. We would not be able to notify their parents if they were off campus. If their parent came to campus and came looking for them and they weren't there, we wouldn't have an answer for them. We would not know where they were. So I've given this a lot of thought, and I understand that they have rights to a certain degree. But I think as a school district and being in charge of these students, we have a responsibility to make sure that we know where they are if they come to school and then they leave. We know when a student leaves the high school for lunch because they have a lunch pass. So why can't you just walk out for a political protest? So it's just something that has really not set well with me at all. And I had to say something because I know there are parents out there that are not happy about this either. So I would like for us to maybe put in a policy, put some practices into place, because our handbook for the high school says, for the purpose of a middle school or high school pupil engaging in a civic or political event as provided in subparagraph B, provided the public notifies the school ahead of the absence. So we were just allowing kids to walk off campus. Now I know there was one at the high school, and then another day there was a middle school. Both middle schools did that. And it is, in my opinion, this is just my own personal opinion, I think that is way, way wrong. So we really need to put some guardrails in place, because this really puts the students at risk, the school district at risk, the parents at risk. There's so many things that could happen during a school day, and we need to know where these kids are. So, thank you, sorry.
Thank you, Susie. No reason to apologize.
It's one of my little, yelling nervous.
All right. And item 17.8, receive a report from board member Jeff Brown. So I wanted to take a minute real quick, and I wanted to thank all of the parents who get involved in all of our different extracurricular activities, all of our different committees, all of our different things. I know you're doing it for your kids, but you end up doing it for all of our kids. You do it for every single kid in the district. Becoming involved with your own kids' activity, it doesn't just put you in involvement with your own kids' activity. When you support the high school football team, you end up supporting all of the players. And some of these people end up staying in support of these teams, and they keep volunteering even after their own kids graduate. This is a very selfless service. This is amazing. And I'm not just talking about the football team. I'm talking about all of the committees around the district, all of the people. We obviously come and we don't, and we give our time, and we participate in community service, and we all do that. But I wanted to take a minute to recognize all the people who don't sit up here and still do all of this extra stuff. So I just wanted to express some gratitude on my own part for that and for all that they do. I also wanted to take a minute at the same time to thank my whole board family for all of the time that you give to our district and to all of us. So that was really all I wanted to focus on, but thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to be very grateful, and I wanted to express some gratitude for all of the time that people give to the kids of Beaumont, that everybody's got something else they could do with their time.
That's right.
So thank you for giving it to our kids.
Thank you, Jeff.
And so with that, We have no closed session items to adjourn to. So I would like to move for the adjournment of the Board of Trustees meeting for Beaumont Unified School District at 7:06 PM.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Susie, seconded by Lance. And any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. Sorry, more technical difficulties.
For yours?
I really do want to vote, I promise.
There you go.
There we go.
Wow.
Can I just say aye? I got to rejoin the meeting. There we go. Lance is my witness. All right, the motion carries. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much again.
You know, like there's so many things like